Now, since we have to find maximum UDL intensity for beam without exceeding the permissible bending stresses, which are sigma T permissible and sigma C permissible, we have two cases. Case 1, we allow the stress at extreme top layer to reach sigma C permissible, since for sagging moment the part of section above neutral axis is subjected to compression and it is maximum at the extreme top layer. That is, sigma C max is equal to sigma C permissible, which according to given data is 45 megapascal. Now upon substituting this value of sigma C max in equation 1, we get one value of W and let that value be W1. We also then check corresponding value of sigma T max induced at the extreme bottom layer for that value of W1 from equation 2. Since we know that your sigma C maximum and sigma T maximum are dependent for a cross section. Now it is very important that your sigma T induced obtained from equation 2 should be less than equal to sigma T permissible, and this is a constraint. If a constraint is not satisfied, that is if sigma T maximum is greater than sigma T permissible, we say that a beam fails in tension. So from our case 1, we get one value of W1, and if a constraint is satisfied, we can consider this value of W1 as the maximum UDL intensity. Let us consider the second case in which we allow the stress at extreme bottom layer to reach sigma T permissible. Since we know for sagging moment the part of section below the neutral axis is subjected to tension and the extreme bottom layer from the neutral axis is subjected to sigma T maximum. So your sigma T maximum is equal to sigma T permissible, which according to the given data is equal to 30 megapascal. Upon substituting the value of sigma T maximum equal to 30 megapascal in equation 2, we get another value of W and let that value be W2. We also then check the corresponding value of sigma C max induced in extreme top layer for that value of W2 and from equation 1. The reason being the same, your sigma C max and sigma T max are dependent for a given cross section. Now again it is very important that your sigma C max induced at the extreme top layer is less than equal to sigma C permissible, which is another constraint for case 2. So if a constraint is not satisfied, that is when your sigma C max induced at the extreme top layer is greater than sigma C permissible, we say that a beam fails in compression. So if you summarize, our case 2 again gives another value of W2, and if a constraint is satisfied, we can consider this value of W2 as maximum UDL. Now from both two cases, we take that value of W, which could be either W1 or W2, from the case where a constraint is satisfied.